Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for joining me here in the Oval Office. I always love having our school teachers and educators here at the White House. I've had them a lot here in the last couple of weeks because that is one of the major points of my administration is education and how we need to fix the education system. So today we're going to be talking about teacher retention in suburban education workforce. That is so important. Teacher retention, especially. If you look at it, the teacher retention numbers are not where they should be. I remember going back when I was in school, you had teachers that worked at the same school for upwards of 30 years. Now we're good to have them in that same school for 2 years, and sometimes even in the profession, not much longer than 2 years. So we're gonna address that issue. We're gonna talk about that today, and again, just it's great for everybody being here this morning. It's always good to have so many dedicated educators with us here today. Again, I want to introduce Dr. Gonzalez. She'll be joining us here shortly in the Department of Education as our new Education Secretary. Thank you very much, Dr. Gonzalez, for all you've done for us over the past few weeks. Just waiting to get the final votes through on the Senate, and we'll get her confirmed and sworn in just as quickly as we can. But it's good to have our principals, school leaders from suburban districts across the country. You are on the front lines every day, shaping the future of our children and our communities. From growing suburbs in Texas to communities in Florida, Illinois, and beyond, you show up for our kids even when the challenges are tough. I know the reality many of you face. Teacher shortages are hitting suburban schools hard. Rapid enrollment growth, burnout, and competition from higher paying fields are making it difficult to attract and keep great educators. When we lose good teachers, our students lose stability, our schools lose continuity, and our suburbs lose one of their greatest strengths. That's why teacher retention and building a strong suburban education workforce is a top priority of this administration, and it always has been. We're working on practical solutions here, targeting incentives to attract and keep teachers in high-growth suburban districts, expanded teacher residency and apprenticeship-style training programs, especially in high-need areas like STEAM and special education. Better support for professional development and reducing administrative burdens so you can focus on what matters most, and that's teaching our kids. There's nothing more important than teaching our future. Strong partnerships between schools, community colleges, and local employers to create clear pathways in education. This isn't about filling classrooms and making a quota. It's about making sure every child in suburban America has consistent and high quality teachers who know their students and their communities. I want to hear from you today. What's working in your districts? What's not working in your districts? What are the biggest barriers? How can we make the teaching profession more sustainable and rewarding so the best educators stay where they're needed most? Your experiences and ideals will directly shape our policies. And I want to thank you again for the work you do every single day. Our kids and our future depend on it. And I just want to say this before we actually let the press out and we get going on this. I just want to say that, there was a time where teachers stayed in the profession. I go to church back home with my former English teacher. She's in my Sunday school class. And her and another group of teachers that I had in high school started at the same year and retired at the same time. They served for 30 years in the same school. Now I know society's changed. We're different now, but we need to do whatever we can do to keep teachers in the classroom. We need to support them. with the proper training. I often we need to revamp professional development and make it worthwhile for our teachers. We need to increase teacher pay, so these teachers are not taking second jobs and having that added on to their already stress. Being a teacher is not a stress-free life, but having a second job adding on to the stress that already is and making that worse. So I really want to hear from the professionals here today and really find out, again, like I said in the opening comments, what's working and what's not working, and how this administration, how Dr. Gonzalez, what we can do to fix it. So we'll send the press out now, and we thank you guys very much. Let's get started. Thank you guys.